Ready? Welcome, everyone. We have an agenda before us. Any changes on that, Denise?
No.
Anyone want to put that one on the floor for?
Absolutely.
Derek?
And second for you, Richard. Dale.
Any pecuniary interest in what we have before us tonight?
Oh, Richard, I guess property fifth motion deals with Central Manitoulin Lions Club. Hooking up some electrical outlets. I don't understand why that's conflict of interest, but it says it is, so I won't comment or motion on that or vote on that.
Okay, thanks, Jeff. All right. Approval of the previous council minutes, which were on the 28th. Someone want to put those on the floor?
Yes, so moved.
John,
I'm there for it.
comments or questions on those minutes? Anyone opposed? Those minutes are carried. No delegations or petitions, so we will move on to our committee reports. First one out the gate is the Roads Committee on June the 2nd. And these are the recommendations that we need motions for. That Beamish Construction be awarded the 2026 season surface treatment tender.
I'll make that motion.
Brian
Second.
and Dale. Comments, questions on that allotment? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we need to have a motion that the tender for the 2026 dust control be awarded to Pillared Highway Products.
Yes, so moved, Councilor Stevens.
I'll second.
Derek and Linda. Comments, questions on that tender? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we need a motion that the tender for the supply of a fuel card lock system be awarded to Computerol Systems in the amount of $17,989.25.
Make that motion.
Thanks, Brian
John will second that for you, Mike.
and John. Comments or question on that new system?
Just one, Denise, when this system comes out, I know that it will track and record for each vehicle that is, it's used for. Will council get a report, on vehicle consumptions and gas usage and stuff?
Yep, we can, sure, that's what
I think it'd be quite interesting, get those reports.
But how often would you want them there?
Well, once a year, like,
I think it's just a historic, yearly historic document for the records.
it's supposed to record everything, so.
Well, might as well make use of it then. All right, anyone else? Anyone opposed? It is carried. Sorry, Rhoda, we didn't get your message on email. Anyways, we're down to the motion between Scott and Stevens that the Roads Committee and that they have a tender to be accepted for the purchase of one 3/4 ton pickup truck be awarded to Manitoulin Chrysler in the amount of $88,509.36. And I do want to make one point before we move on that one. Councillor Bilisar did let us be known that we didn't abide by our intention to buy Canadian. I didn't even realize that the machines were all made outside of Canada, that the Chrysler don't have any in here. And I asked the same question that you would have done, I guess, John, is our Dodge Ram pickup trucks manufactured in Canada? And the answer was no. They are assembled in North American facilities located in the United States and Mexico. And this particular one, which is I think a 250, is it not?
Yeah.
2,500 rather.
Yeah.
And that's done in Mexico.
We,
Well, that was interesting.
yeah, we do have, Chevrolet is made in Oshawa and it's produced for the Canadian, market. And Ford Oakville is, currently in the midst of, retooling for the, heavy duty series. And, which fits this bill, of a truck. So, and they're quite popular down through Southern Ontario. I think it's a dealer situation in this case. With Ford, I think we did have a quote from a Ford dealer, but
Yeah,
Wasn't
the quotes were like $10,000 difference between the high and the low there that we accepted. So Dale's already made that motion.
Yep.
Seconder,
Second motion.
Dale or Derek? Any comments or questions? Linda?
I would like to point out though that we are dealing with one of our local dealers in our town, which I think is a good idea.
One of the conditions there, one of the considerations we made when we were doing it, that we're not only saving $10,000, but we also have our local people to be concerned with. Hill,
Yeah, and this has a V plow with the price.
right? Okay, so we have a motion, we have it firsted and seconded. Anybody comment on it? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we need a motion that the Ministry of Transportation be requested to establish a no parking zone on the north side of Highway 551 from 40.54 meters west of McNiven Street and extending 8 meters west from that point, which I'm assuming, Denise, is the driveway of the individual that was having problems getting in and out of his
Yes.
business.
Yeah, so much from this group.
I'll second that.
Thanks, guys. Comments, questions?
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah, but
So we're asking the Ministry of Transportation to put signs up there, but we should be also asking the OPP to enforce the Highway Traffic Act, because the legislation is already there. It states there in the Highway Traffic Act that you're not allowed to block driveways or entrance into the provincial highways.
you'd almost think you wouldn't need a law for that, the common sense would apply.
I guess down here, according to the picture I've seen there, I guess there's no comment or common sense down there. But still, the OPP should be enforcing the Highway Traffic Act there.
Well, will this, Denise, in your experience or knowledge, does that posting of that give the OPP the authority and ability to enforce? Do they have to have the signage up there before they can enforce?
No, they can enforce it because there's a driveway there, however, it's thought that with the additional painting and signage, it would be an added kind of assistance for people to understand that that is a no parking area.
Right. Any other comments? Anyone opposed to this motion? It is carried. And we need to approve the year-to-date financial report for the roads committee ending May the 31st, 2026.
Give you that motion, Richard.
I'll second it.
Dale and Linda. Comments, questions? Anyone opposed? It is carried. Now we will move on to our Water, Waste and Education Committee, which was held on June the 4th. And we need motions for these recommendations. That we accept the tile drainage work permit report and application form. New,
I'll make that motion.
right?
John, supplement for you, Mr.
Brian and John. Comments, questions? Anyone opposed? And we need to accept the 2026 -15-01 curator report as information. Linda? Seconder Dale?
Yeah.
Comments, questions on that report? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we have a request that the Providence Bay Agricultural Society provide a topographical site plan of the property to be presented at the August 6, 26 Water, Waste and Education Committee meeting.
I'll make that motion.
John, supplement for you, Mr.
Thanks, guys. I had thought it might be a duplication of the next motion, but Denise convinced me otherwise, so that's the reason it's there. And the next motion is that a preliminary drainage report be prepared for the watershed located on Fire Hall Road on Highway 551.
Now, before this goes to the floor, I would like to let council know that we have gotten one preliminary costing from Tulloch Engineering, and that's going to be about 8,500. We've also contacted K-Smart to get a cost estimate from them as well. So just to let you know, that's about the price range that we're looking at for a preliminary drainage report for that area.
Comments, questions?
I'll make the motion.
Seconder,
I'll second it.
guys?
If I may, do we not have a drainage engineer at this time? I know our road superintendent is our drainage superintendent. We always have problems with the different companies, and do we have a drainage engineer at this time?
Not contract,
Okay,
But Ron is our official
drainage
drainage
superintendent.
superintendent, but not engineer.
No,
We made that very clear that he was using his opinion and experience and not his degree.
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
So, just a question, if we get that second price, within a reasonable amount of time, when would we expect to see something come to council? Like if you had a second price here by the end of next week, would it come to the next committee meeting?
I guess, well, I guess council can decide tonight. I mean, we've gotten one price estimate, and that's 8,500. So you could say to a max upset of 8,500, and that way, if the other comes in cheaper, we can utilize the cheaper cost quote. But we know, what at least one cost quote is.
Maybe we could just leave it to staff's discretion with another one or two quotes that they're gonna get.
Do we necessarily need to put a budget figure to that?
Yeah, there is no budget figure, so if we should maybe add an upset limit for staff.
So $9,000 then?
Yep.
Yeah, I'd add that to my motion.
Okay.
As long as council gets the report and we can then act on it. Whether for or against, I mean, we need that information before we can make decisions, so.
You all right with that, Brian?
Yes.
Anything further?
I'm just wondering how time sensitive this is now that it's our summer season. And this was a flood situation back in March when we were all flooded out. How,
I personally don't think it's
no,
a rush issue at this
I
point.
don't either, so I think we can wait for whatever quotes come in and start to plan for later in the fall.
Well, I mean, if it's under 9,000 and we choose the lowest quote, we can proceed on that and maybe even have the drainage report ready for, August. Or when we come back from our
We'll be
summer
meeting
break.
next month.
It's August, September.
Yeah.
We just need to report. Preliminary report.
Okay, then do it.
Mhm.
Okay. Anyone opposed to that motion? It is carried. And we have a motion to approve, or a recommendation to approve Water Waste and Education Committee year-to-date financial report ending May 31st, 2026.
I can motion that, Richard, for you.
Dale? Brian?
Sure.
Comments, questions? Anyone opposed? It is carried. Now, we had a property committee meeting on June the 9th. And these are the recommendations that we need to solve. First is that bylaw 2026-10, which is the alcohol policy, be given its second and third reading and be duly passed.
So moved, Counselor Stevens.
I'll second that, Richard.
Thanks, Rose. Comments, question on that bylaw? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we need to approve the Savaria maintenance service contract dated May the 14th, 2026.
I can give you that motion, Richard.
Dale? Seconder? Anybody? Can the mayor make votes here, Denise? Well, guess we don't deal with this one, then we need a seconder, or we'll have to,
I'll second it just for discussion. How does that sound?
well, that puts it on the table anyway.
There you go.
Now, comments or questions? Right?
I made my comments the other night and I'm gonna stand by what I said. We have a lift over here that has been years and years without having anybody look at it to see whether it has to be replaced or repaired. And here we are, we have a lift over there that's not gonna be used that much. And we're jumping in here and finding money to get it up and running. I got a problem with this kind of stuff. This lift in this building here, the community center, is gonna be a lot more important than that little one over there. Because this one here is part of our emergency plan. So anybody that needs to be going in there and are disabled and require that, that should have been done years ago. But we've never been able to find the money for it. Now all of a sudden, we can find money to get contracts going, we can find money for this, we find money for that. It's time to get this thing fixed or replaced. Not just, yeah, we'll get at it.
Eric,
Well, opposed to buying this old church to begin with. All we wanted was the property, not the building. And now I'm being told that, oh, well, we gotta budget this, and we gotta budget that, and we gotta budget to have the lift inspected that's in there for a building that we aren't even using, that's closed. And I don't know why we actually need a lift in it. But yet this municipality had a motion that by the term of this council, we would have an elevator or a lift in our community center, and it's never been done. I am totally opposed to spending any money on that old church until we actually have a plan of what's happening or anything else. I'm totally against spending this money, so.
So. So we, through staff, we have found out that this company in particular that, was asked about the church lift. Actually is installing one at the school. And actually can service and can inspect the one over at the, community center, so. It stands to reason that we at least go to the point of seeing what it might cost if they can. Do some upgrades or some improvements to the existing system that's there. And then come back with a price for us to approve to get that system up and running. We've never been able to find somebody that actually services that particular lift. That's
Talking about the one at the community hall.
community hall, yes. So I'd be in favor of moving something to, rather than go to the church, rather than have that company come and look at the one with the community hall. So,
Anyone else? Go ahead, Rose.
I said my piece the other night, so all I'm gonna do is I agree with Brian, I agree with Derek, and I agree with John. I've gone past the point of demolishing. I'm still not quite there, I'm still there, but I back up just a little, just no money, not a single penny going into that building.
Well, we have, anybody else want to speak their piece? Yeah,
Yeah, we do own a church building. And if we're going to keep it as possibly as a saleable item, I think we need to keep it updated, and Savaria can do that for 2,300. They also will be in a position to do the community center. And did I understand David to say that there was 3 that they would look at, the municipality? No.
A possibility of
Possibility.
up to 3 in this area, yes.
Yes, so it probably would stand to reason if that company's going to come and they can do multiple ones, that it would be cheaper, but yeah, I just think if that's going to be a saleable item in the future and the lift is going to be part of that sale, that keep the value going forward and spend that bit of money and get that company to be looking at the options for the community center as well.
so it's kind of like an investment. And the biggest chunk of it's going to be for this particular church property for now, but if we're able to have them look at the rest of the needs of the community, then we're gonna save money in the long run. That's my take of what Dave was alluding to. So,
Not maintain it, we must then shut it down and lock it out.
Mhm.
There is a cost associated with that.
Mhm.
So there is no ability for us to do nothing. So either way, we will incur costs.
Mr. Mayor? If you go online and check out the company, but the TSSA, the cost is minimal. All they will do is will come and close it, shut it down. And then if you want to open it up again, they'll come back and tell you what you have to do to open it up again. So it's not a huge investment. And it's not that we're tearing the elevator out, just not using it. That's all.
but to keep it in an unmaintained condition. Would definitely, well, anybody who wants to purchase it for use will require as a term of sale that the elevator be usable.
Well, that,
So we'll have to go and maintain it at that point in time and repair anything that has been damaged because of its lockout and non-use. So there's, will still be costs.
And it means that if we did have a possibility of a rental unit, it's only gonna be rentable if it has the lift in it. Anyways, my opinion, it's an investment, and it's a fairly small investment. We're not talking tens of thousands of dollars here in order to keep that building viable and have a party on tap for the other needs that we have in the community. So I'm going to call, anybody else? A call for a recorded vote,
Yeah, I'm gonna call for a recording.
and we will start with John.
No,
Lynn, or Rose,
no,
Dale,
Yes to the motion.
Linda,
I have some deep roots to that church. I'm going to abstain.
and Brian,
No.
and Derek.
No.
Well, the motion is failed. Thanks, everybody. And we will move on, and we need
So
to,
before we move on though, then we have to talk about locking it out. And the cost of locking it out is, Dave said approximately between 500 and 1,000 to lock it out. And we are required to lock it out if we are not maintaining it.
it required a motion or direction to staff.
Well, it's a must do, so whether it's budget or not is irrelevant, we have to, we are forced by law to do it.
Motion or direction.
Who's allowed in the building? Building's not
TSSA
being used, lock the damn door, and you don't, just put a tag on it there, it's locked out, staff can put a tag
No,
on it.
TSSA locks it out.
Well, then, just lock the door, nobody can go in and out, like,
You're required to lock it out if it's not maintained by TSSA or we'll be fined.
we have to listen to staff's direction. They know what they're doing. We're,
So if
Jump
it's
it
a
down.
non-maintained, then we will have to get it locked out by TSSA so that it's non-usable for anybody. You can't just lock the door and walk away from it and not do nothing.
John,
An amended motion to direct staff to have the lift locked out.
Well, the original motion failed.
Yeah.
We can introduce a motion as long as everybody on council is
new motion.
okay to introduce the motion.
New
Okay,
motion.
well, new motion,
Have staff lock the lift in the church.
yeah, I'll second the motion.
Dale or John. And Derek. Comments, questions? Mayor disagrees. But. Okay, anybody else opposed to the motion? And the motion is carried. All right,
Mr. Mayor, while we're talking about all this, excuse me, are we gonna get this Severia to look at this lift over here, or is it just gone by the wayside again? For another 2 or 3 years?
well, we did have him on tap, but I don't think he's gonna bother coming if these. Either that or it's gonna cost us, I don't know how long, what it's gonna cost us on a regular basis, it will cost us more than $2,000, you just threw out the window here, so.
It's for the quote, it isn't a quote to maintain what's there. Dave is already looking into it, it's the quote to put something there, because what we have is non-maintainable. So.
Do we have paperwork that says it's non-repairable? Or are we going on hearsay from somebody that serviced it, an islander that serviced it years ago.
Dave is looking into that. That's
Yeah.
what Dave is looking
Like,
into.
I don't want to push this thing, but that building needs something. And every time we talk about it, it just seems to. It's just like somebody's blowing smoke up somebody's butt. No, I'm sorry, but that's. Every time we deal with that thing. And I'm getting tired of it. It's been 3-4 years now that I've sat on council, we've talked about it 3 or 4 times, and here we are again, pushing it off into the side. So that part of it is very frustrating to me because we're not getting anybody even to look at it and say, yeah, okay, it's finished. We don't know that. We have gone, some electrician or whatever looked at it and said, oh, I don't know anything about it. Well, okay, it's a lift. You shouldn't know anything about it. Same as an elevator, you shouldn't know anything about it because that's a
The
specialized.
original lift, I think, was Garavanta.
Pardon?
Garavanta, when it was installed, that's who, yeah.
Yeah.
And we were told by them that they would no longer service it.
Yes,
And
but
so then it was locked out, so that it was rendered unusable. And
they
then-
were talking about
But
refitting it or
it
what.
wasn't just the lift. There's a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be done to the hall, and it's all kind of tied together. Cause when we were talking about changing out the lift, we were talking about needing electrical upgrades. Well, if the electrical upgrades were gonna happen, then we were gonna talk about an HVAC system. It was a whole plan that was gonna be developed. It wasn't just one thing happening at a time.
And that's how this thing is getting buried.
There, this exact same company is coming into the old school property to service that lift and get it up and running. And it is the exact same lift as what is in the hall. So if they can service the one that's in the old school building, we should be able to get them to service the one that's in our community center. And I would hope that staff would look into that
Dave is looking into it, yes.
and
yes.
see if it can be done. Yes, the manufacturer of that one is no longer servicing you anymore, but doesn't mean there isn't another company out there that can service it, so. But I do think it's very important, and I agree with Brian. I mean, I've been sitting here a lot longer than you, and that thing's been broke, and we've never got anything done in there, and it's time something needs to be done, so.
Anybody else?
Well, we just had the opportunity to have them over. And they could have kept on going and done all 3 and. Yeah. I suspect. We'll end up doing 2 for the same price as the 3 and. We won't be any further ahead.
I was gonna have them come over, but it had nothing to do with the community center, they were only gonna work on the one in the old church. So, we don't need that work done, let's hire the company to the community center where it needs to be done.
Mr. Mayor, do we need a direction to staff to, so they can complete the investigation into the community center lift?
He's already working on it, the 3rd time. Dave is already working on it.
I'm trying to reaffirm
The
that.
thing is that at budget time, you ex-nated any work on the community center. It was budgeted, and it was no at budget time, so staff drops it. When there's no funds for it, staff doesn't pursue it. So that's where we are, is because it was budgeted. Every year, staff budgets an amount to move the project forward, and every year council has said no. Because money has to be cut somewhere, and that's an easy cut for council.
What else?
I do agree with Denise. At budget time, yeah, but at that time, we were looking at the overall project, the heating and everything else in that building, which is something was like $1 million, eh? But if we took that lift out of that overall picture and just looked at, focus on the lift, we're not gonna be looking at $1 million. We're probably won't even be looking at 100,000 to do something, but we don't know until we get somebody in there and start the process. And instead of waiting for this big amount of money to do the whole building. Break it down, because this community cannot afford $1 million for something there.
But staff are doing a plan. They're
They
working
are
on it.
We are I have Dave tasked to look into what the cost is specifically for the lift. Yes,
Please,
yes.
thank you very much.
All right. Are we finished with this?
So we have some information coming back to council. On it. I think that's what we want, that's what we need at this point in time. It's good.
Be there in time for budget this fall, John.
I'd love to
And
have
then
that.
it'll be better.
We got another budget to go through? No.
All right. The next item on the agenda is to accept the appointment of C. Davy to the Trail Committee.
You missed one.
Mr. Warren.
It's like
One
bluegrass.
up there is the big. All right. And we need to approve that we're gonna do a platinum sponsorship donation of $500. And it goes to the Bluegrass in the Country event supporting the Special Olympics.
It's similar to Councilor Stevens.
And I will second that.
And
Deal.
Who is the second?
Brian,
Joe, Brian. Derek and Brian, comments, questions?
I'm just, Bluegrass has been going on for years. They attract a pile of people here. They raise money for Special Olympics and different things. I think they're a fantastic organization. We used to actually donate to them when the Bluegrass was on our property, either through garbage services or rent deferrals. So now that they've moved on to the Agricultural Society property with the new stage and everything else, I think it's the only thing that we can do to help support them. So $500 donation is well worth it in my mind.
Anyone else? Anyone opposed? It is carried. Now we will deal with the acceptance of the appointment of C. Davy to the Trail Committee. It's always good to see people standing forward.
I'll make that motion, Dale.
And I'll second it.
Comments, questions? And go ahead, yeah.
Just that, Mrs. Davy is part of the school, and the school uses the trail quite frequently. They take the children different grades through, botany, geology, lessons, so, yeah, and she is really, interested and excited about being part of that with the school, so I think it's a good fit.
Anyone else? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we now need to approve a request from the Central Manitoulin Lions Club to install electrical outlets at the Mindemoya Old School in accordance with the conditions set out in the correspondence from Mr. Moore on behalf of Central Manitoulin Lions Club dated June the 8th, and Ms. McAllister on behalf of Friends of the Mindemoya Old School dated June the 3rd.
I'll make the motion.
Brian?
Yeah, Derek, second.
Comments, questions? Brian?
They followed all the rules. They have ESA, they have a contractor, so have at it. It'll be a help to both the Manitoulin or the Lions Club and the old school zone. So they're following all the rules, so.
Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we need a motion that the weekend of August the 21st, 2026 to August the 23rd, 2026 be declared a community festival weekend to accommodate the annual Providence Bay Fair and Music Festival.
So moved, Counselor Stevens.
I'll second, Dale.
Eric and Dale. Comments, questions? Anyone opposed? It is carried. And we need an approval of the year-to-date expense report for the property committee dated March the 31st.
May the 31st.
Oh, May, you're right.
Like that.
Thanks, Linda.
John will second that for you, Mr. Mayor.
Thanks, John. Comments, questions on that report? Anyone opposed? It is carried. All right, we'll move down to some unfinished business. Dealing with first bylaw 2026-21, which is an official plan amendment number 2024-120 PA-25-002. And it's to redesignate from village area and rural area to agricultural area. The land described as being part of lots 2, 3, and 4 in section 10 as described in instrument numbers T19573 and RM74682, including part 1 on plan 31 R-3316, which is located at 82 Cranston Road, the township of Carnarvon, within the municipality of Central Manitoulin, in the district of Manitoulin.
So moved, Counselor Stevens.
Dale and Derek. Comments, questions? Anyone opposed? It. Carried. And a sister bylaw number 2026-22, which is the rezoning, a comprehensive zoning bylaw number 2024-12 is amended to rezone the rural zone and residential zone to agriculture zone. The land described as being part of lots 2, 3, 4 and concession 10, including part 1 on plan 31R-3316, as described in instrument numbers T19-573 and RM74682, all located at 82 Cranston Road, within the township of Carnarvon in the municipality of Central Manitoulin, within the district of Manitoulin.
I'll make that motion for you.
Thanks,
Second
Brian
it.
and Linda. Comments, questions? Eric?
Is there any way that copies of these bylaws and, any mapping and correspondence pertaining to it can be sent to the family?
Yeah, Teresa does that.
Then they can have it for their files, then I know they do have a file on it, so if all that could be sent to them,
Mhm.
would be appreciated.
Anything else? Anyone opposed? It is carried. All right. No communications, no new business, no financial business, no in camera. Oh, what a confirming bylaw.
Still move Counselor Stevens.
I can second from Richard.
All right, guys. Anyone opposed? It is carried. And the final motion of the night,
Sure. I can give you that, Richard. Yeah.
adjournment by Dale. And
I'll second it.
Ryan. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yay.